Hey friends, today we have our last spelling rule for the week, and today's spelling rule is the final S rule, that S sound rule on the end of a word. Now this one is a little bit tricky, kind of like the final K sound, because there are 3 different patterns that can make the S sound on the end of a word, which can get a little tricky because if so many patterns can make one sound, how do we know which one to use? Well, that's why we have the rule, to make it easy to figure out which spelling pattern I will use to make that sound, just like the final K sound. The first way you can say S on the end of a word is with SS. And this one's pretty simple because this goes right along with our floss rule, right? Right. So if a word has a short vowel right before the S sound, it's spelled with an SS, just like you would for the floss rule. So I have 3 examples: toss, floss, and mess. And if you look at all 3 of those words, right before the S sound, you hear a short vowel. So you know it's going to end in an SS pattern. Toss has a short O, floss has a short O, and mess has a short E. So I put an SS on the end to make the S sound. The next rule is if there is a long vowel right before the S sound, you spell that S sound with a CE on the end. So I have 3 examples: rice, face, and spruce. Right before you hear the S sound in all of those words, there is a long vowel sound. I, S, long I, S, long A, S, long U. So since I hear that long vowel sound right before the S sound on the end, I know I'm going to use the CE pattern to make that S sound. And then the last rule says that an SE pattern will make the S sound on the end of a word after anything else. So that might be a vowel digraph, that might be a diphthong, and that might be something like a consonant. So I have a couple examples here. The first example is false. I hear that sound on the end, but right before it, I hear an L, which is a consonant. So I know it's going to be the SE pattern on the end. False. The next example is mouse. Ouse. I hear that S sound on the end, but right before it, I hear the ow diphthong. So I know it's going to be the SE pattern on the end. And then the last one is goose. I hear that O vowel digraph, so I know it's going to be the SE pattern on the end as well. Okay, so just like the final K rules, there are a couple different patterns that can say the K sound on the end of a word. So the S sound on the end of a word. So it can get a little bit tricky, just like the K sound. But as long as you remember these 3 rules, you'll always know how to spell your rules and which pattern to use to make that sound. So go ahead and get your practice pages and practice adding SS, CE, or SE on the end of a word to make that final S sound.